Hello, and welcome to the stream tonight. We're starting on time. Yay! Well, as always, I am Pew Pew Meow, and we are doing Eagle Strike yet again. I hope you're ready for this. Hey, Scary, hope you're having a wonderful evening, my friend. Jobs apply, says, nice slopes. Thanks, man. Thanks. I hope you're all doing well tonight. But tonight we are, of course, getting... good to hear that, Scary. Good to hear that. We're getting on with, well, Omaha Beach. Tanks in Trouble, Scenario 04. So without further ado, it's June the 6th, 1944, Omaha Beach, Normandy. 07:4500 hours. Some historical background for you. The book, The View from the Turret, by William Folkestad, gives an enlightening insight into the part of Allied invasion of Normandy not found in the better-known treatises on the subject. Most people are unaware of the vital role the 743rd Tank Battalion played in securing the beaches at Omaha. Jobs Apply says, tough one indeed. Yep, it is. It was quite an epic one, alright? The role of a tank battalion, in contrast to that of an armored division, is the direct support of the infantry division to which it is assigned. The 743rd was assigned to the 29th Blue and Grey Infantry Division, assault force designed to hit the eastern half of the landing area. Like so many other units, the tanks were scattered, with many sinking before reaching the shore. Others were blown out of the water while still tucked away on the approaching LCTs. Some fell victim to the deadly enemy mines that peppered all the beaches. Some of the tanks did make it ashore and quickly took on the enemy shore batteries that were mercilessly slaughtering the GIs. This scenario covers the ascent of a few tanks of the 743rd Tank Battalion as they struggled to get above the shoreline and attack directly into the enemy defenses. And so, we begin. So we'll do Americans, and because apparently you can play this scenario either as Germans or Americans, so we shall choose an American side, an Allied side, to do this. So supports are available. This scenario has withdrawals, so we will have some units withdrawing, and this scenario has a smoke limit of 8, so any supports that we try to use with the all smoke limit, we can only use smoke 8 times. Right, well, as you can see, this is a huge scenario. First things first, we have 25 turns, meaning at the rate we were playing yesterday and the day before, it does take some time. So most likely we would not be able to complete the full scenario tonight, but we shall endeavor to do so. We shall endeavor to do so. But let's have a look at our forces, because there are numerous. We shall be looking in two ways. So first we're just gonna mouse over to get a kind of an overview, and then we'll have a look at what is the org chart, etc., to see if we can keep our men together and leader full instead of leader less. So we have interesting things. There is a Bangalore and satchel charges, and of course we do have the tanks. Jobs Apply says optional rules must have vehicle fire over. I have not selected any optional rules, so that might come to bite us in the proverbial behind, but we'll have a look. Also interesting to see, we have a dropped walkie-talkie there, so the radio. I assume if we do not get anyone carrying a radio, like here for example, we might need to pick that up. We do have some mortars, which is good. The usual suspects, so bars, Garands, etc. Alright. Actually, not... Oh, and we do have a flamethrower. Fantastic. That will definitely come in handy. So one thing... some launched grenades as well. Perfect. Right. One thing that I wanted... Oh, and a 50 cal. I keep getting distracted. HMG. And an MMG as well. That's perfect. So, one thing I did want to note, and for those of you who have watched the stream yesterday... Hey Arzu, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well this evening. For those who have been watching my stream yesterday, we have had some issues with some bugs that were quite game-breaking. Well, lo and behold, if you were around towards the end of the stream, you might have noticed there was an email from WDS as we were streaming. Hey, Parker, I'm glad that you finally made the live stream. Welcome, welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. But yes, we received an email from Wargame Design Studios, and they were actually asking if I was gonna continue streaming, because they've noticed I was nearing the end of the stream at the time, because they wanted to provide us with a fixed executable to get rid of those game-breaking bugs, basically game-crushing bugs. And so, of course, I didn't read it at the time of the stream, but I read it afterwards, and the patch has worked. We have no more issues with the crashing of the game if we are assaulting and moving in to a hex that has a disabled weapon in it. And Case says, wow, that's responsive. Yes, yes, it is. It is fantastic. So they have advised me that this is not fully public yet. They are providing the files to those people who request them. But before they release it to as a full public release, they want to make sure that there are no other bugs that might rear their heads. So they are testing this extensively before making a full release, so that they don't need to do another patch in the next couple of days. So I reckon we should see a full public release very, very soon. But for now, you can enjoy this without any crashes to desktop. Yes! So yes, and I do totally agree with you. Wargame Design Studios are amazing. I have not had such an amazing customer support anywhere in any industry at any time. This is mind-blowingly good. But anyway, getting back to the game. So I just wanted to put it out there because I think it's important to give credit where credit is due. This is just mind-blowingly good customer service. Going back to our game, however. Right, so Bangalores. They are range 1, lethality 40, penetration 4. So, I am wondering how we can be using those. Arza says, agree that customer service is very good. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, with the Bangalores, I'm just wondering, can we blow up the obstacles? Can we blow up barriers and things like that? Clear a minefield? I have no idea. So we're gonna have a look how they work and hopefully figure it out, because that would be really, really good. Right. But let's get this going. Can blow wires and mines. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. So starting to kind of have a look at our organization. So we have, I assume, a platoon here. Yes, they are. So who are these guys? They're the 3rd Squad Charlie Engineer Company. Okay. Attached to the 121st Engineer. Pakwer is saying he's doing good. Remembered you said you stream daily, and luckily it was 10 minutes till the stream. Never saw this game, but seems tricky. Yeah, so we are in a epic scenario. So, of course, this is World War II, Packer. We are kind of, well, we're not kind of, we are assaulting Omaha Beach. So it is gonna be tough, and most likely I won't be able to finish the scenario today because it's 25 turns, it will take some time. But we'll see, we'll see. But yes, so we have assault engineers on our left. We have, who are these guys? First squad to Charlie, attached to 116's, is it Rangers? I assume. Alright, Sergeant Murphy is leading those. Over... okay, so, right, interesting. So we have Shermans as well, of course, because this is what it's all about. The tanks in trouble, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Shermans, led by Lieutenant W. Jones. But we also have a few that are attached, I assume. So this is a second platoon, and this is a first platoon, 743rd. I assume this is 743rd as well. Yes, it is. And this unattached as well. Interesting. Okay. So here we have a second squad from the 116th again. And we are getting a little bit more spread out. 121st Engineers as well, so nice spread there. And finally, at our front, let's get somebody who is 116th again. Yeah, so and as you can see, the people have actually messed up a little bit in terms of getting there, representing historically that not everybody was as cohesive as they could have been due to, well, a sheer atrocity of what was actually happening. Zaphod once more into the bridge. Yes, yes indeed. Welcome to the stream, mate. Welcome to the stream. Are the square teeth dragon or are the square dots dragon teeth? They are barriers, so I assume yes, they are. While the these sort of things are, well, as you can see, different types of wire. And yes, they are dragon teeth. Job says satchels should also blow mines. That is very good to know. That is a perfect information. Because we would need to blow up mines and we would need to blow up obstacles here. That, as you can see, if we want to advance, they are all obstacles. And as we have learned from our testing 2 days ago, if you go into obstacles, everybody gets pinned, and it's a pain to unpin the whole stack. Yes, yes indeed, you get tangled in the obstacles. Hey, Bick here. Hello, mate. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, we are a little bit spread out. However, we should be actually not too bad. A few people here and there, but we will be aiming to redirect our people to group them up together so that we can support them with our leaders as much as we can. This is gonna be messy, but let's have a look at the map, shall we? I hope you like this. Alright, let's get this sorted. So, looking at the map, we will kind of not look here because there is so much. We will concentrate first on taking these front positions. Or actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's actually have a look. What are our objectives? So, we have couple of objectives in the rear. Well, actually 3 objectives in the rear. And interestingly enough, there are some what looks like empty roads of advance for us. I am sure it's not as simple. I'm sure they would have mines. But But, this could be a possibility, because if we can redirect somebody here, this opens up, and I know it opens up, there are barriers, we already see men there as well, but that could be something to consider. Tahir, Askari says, deep and wide map. It would be difficult and more casualties. Absolutely. It would be very, very hard for us. So, first things first, let's have a look what we need to do to achieve victory. So, minor defeat, because we can start aiming for that first, is 100. Minor victory is 150. So, to achieve a draw, we need to aim for 101 point. What does that mean? Well, our objectives are 50 points, so if we take 2 objectives, and don't lose more men than we kill, we should be okay-ish as in a draw. But if we want to get a minor victory, what we are really looking for, to take at least 3 objectives. And of course, if we can take 4, that would ensure that we're definitely firmly in a minor victory territory and possibly going into major victory. Regardless of that, that is a big map, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, just so that we can see and do our planning. So, straight away, let's have a look at the... Right, we have a bunch of Shermans on our left-hand side. And if I can get here... Right. Okay. We have Shermans over here on the left-hand side. They can either go in support of our troops trying to push and take these trenches. These trenches here. So, however, it might be better if we start pushing this way. My worry is that all this area here is mined out. So, quite possibly. I know that if I was Germans, that's what I would do. So, Pakwer says, there is a river or stream splitting the map. Hard to cross? Yes, so the river and stream would actually... It's a stream. While we can cross it, no problem at all, the issue here that it costs quite a lot. So most likely, and we can check that, actually, let's check that right now. Most likely what will happen is that would take all of our movement points. So if we click on any unit, we'll see that the infantry has 24 movement points over here at the bottom. And if you do not see it just there. So that's the movement points, right? To cross the river, and if I remember correctly, let me just press a bunch of buttons. No, that's weapon data. Parameter, right, okay, this is exactly what we're looking for. So movement cost for infantry. So to move in a clear, it's 6 movement points, nice and easy. However, this is not in a clear, so this is... Well, it's a stream. So it looks like it's clear otherwise, but it is a stream. So... Field trees, village rise, shallows, brush, marsh, broken. I would assume we would have a stream. Stream, there you go. Okay. So the stream costs 4 movement points, which isn't actually too bad. So that's 4 movement points on top of whatever other modifier there might be. So it's 10 movement points if it is in the clear altogether. Which, actually, that's not too bad. So we might be okay. We might be okay. However, of course, if it's a crater terrain, that adds another negative. And if we're going up the elevation, again, that's more modifiers. So brush, for example, here would add another 8 points, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I can right-click on the terrain. Okay, let's have a look. Doesn't do anything? I'm right-clicking. It's not working. Nope. And this is weird. Yeah, that's not working, Jobs. Sorry to say. Unless I have on the box at the bottom. Yeah, I'm right-clicking on it, whether it is on this one or that one. Nothing is happening. So I'm not sure what is up with that. Unless it's something in the settings that I have not touched. Any special software for this magic red lines? Yes, it is called Paint something or other. It's called Transparent Paint. I have mislabeled it to Transparent Paint due to, well, mislabeling it, but it is a little bit of a pain to set up. Yeah, right-clicking gives you more info on the units, but not terrain. Job says maybe he's mistaken. Yeah, because I never actually seen any extra information on the terrain. I think Panzer campaigns have more information if you right-click on terrain. If I remember correctly, but don't think the squad battles do. But I would go with whatever Zaphod is saying, because he is the expert. At least he has proven himself to be. So Packer says, yeah, seems like it might will make infantry move one less tile to cross one tile of stream. Not too bad, yeah? But will probably result in a choice of ending on a stream tile or not to cross it at all sometimes. Job says it must be it. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so here is our dilemma, here is our plan. So this is most likely mined. The stream can actually be a very viable means to approach this, because I reckon that this would not be mined either. So we might be taking the stream to hit this and these objectives. This might be actually one thing that we can do. We can ignore the German lines, the German defenses here, with our center force. And we can just use these men over here, and I assume... Right, so we have what? We have... First squad from 116th. And... yeah, so... The others, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. They're 116th as well, so second platoon and the third platoon from the looks of things. Third platoon and second platoon, absolutely. So, yes, we can go this way. Right. And we can also use these tanks and men to try and hit here, because this, I assume, is a PaK 40 or something to that effect. It's PaK 43, 88mm anti-tank gun. So, not a nice thing to have, especially when you have tanks moving on. So that's not good. Let us zoom out a little bit. So the plan, I think, should be as follows. We shall, if I can see where I'm drawing, move up with our tanks and we'll move the engineers into support. So maybe we'll transfer some of the engineers out. And I think that these are the engineers. So I think We have the engineers here, so they're gonna move up and try and clear the area first, while the center moves up this way, and this way. And the rest of the men will try and put pressure on here with the left flank, trying to go up to this gun, take it out, and then try and take this objective. So hopefully what that would give us is at least 2 objectives here and a possible 3rd objective here. Depending on the resistance, we might swap from here if it's too stiff and we are making better progress here. We're gonna try and push through to the last objective there and maybe transfer these men to assist, to kind of wrap around the trench system. So these 2 trench systems, these are mines most likely. So I think this would be the best course of action for us, and once we're there, we'll try and come up with another plan, because so many things can go wrong here, it's ridiculous. So let us get started. And of course we will move up the men as needed. Let's remove this, put my pen away, and let's try and figure out where our engineers are. So we have engineers here, we have engineers there. So undercrewed, unfortunately. Okay. Right. So here is what's gonna happen. We are moving up. And we will sustain casualties, there is no other way about it. Now, given that we have 25 turns, some of you might say, well, why don't you move up being on the ground? Yeah, being on the ground is great and all, but we need to see how fast we can make progress, because that would depend on how careful we start taking on these positions here once we actually advance off the beach. And I see a perfect opportunity here to pick up a satchel. Ah, but we have 0 movement. In that case, we're gonna go to ground. Do I have any smoke? I do indeed, yes. So there is a smoke available. And... oop, run. Hold up. For some reason, this was on another screen. So yes, there is smoke available. And we better call this. So for those not in the know, this is our support dialogue. So we have to have a walkie-talkie, a radio, and an officer. Actually, Sergeant Morrison fulfills the role as well, in order to call for support. So here we see that we have 3 different supports. 8 inches gun turret, so all of them are, of course, ship support. Hey Ufuk, welcome to the stream, mate. So all of them are support from our ships. We have 8-inch guns, 5-inch guns, and 5-inch guns. So for the 8-inch guns, minimum delay is 3, so you cannot just call for support and use it immediately. You call it in, they try to zero in a position, etc. So that represents basically the time it takes for the communication to take place between you and a ship, from the ship to the gunnery position, them getting the eyes on target, etc. And a maximum delay of 7 turns. We have 2 missions of that, so we're gonna call it in, because it's better to have something called in than not at all. And of those and 8-inch guns, there are 3 tubes available. Job says mortar smoke. We should have, yeah, I believe the smoke was the, was it 8 or 12 restriction on the smoke? So we're gonna check that in a second. So, but yeah, I'll just go through the support. So similar to this for the 5-inch gun, it's already available. So if we don't use it this turn, this will go away and we would need to call it in again. However, delay for the 5-inch guns is 1 minimum and maximum of 3. So we'll check that out in a second. But as Jobs rightfully pointed, we should have some mortar smoke, because most likely... So if we go to select weapon, we have either HE, smoke, or illumination. So it is 7:30 in the morning. We will not be using illumination, but we will be using smoke. And the smoke is also slightly damage causing, because it is, of course, World War II. And we do like to use white phosphorus, and this is what WP stands for. But for all intents and purposes, it's just smoke. If we want to damage people, we will use HE. So yes, we do have smoke. And we have a few mortars available. We won't be using smoke just yet, just because... I don't feel that this is absolutely necessary right now, unless we start taking a lot. Hit AT with naval guns. Absolutely, that is the plan, because they do have quite a few AT guns. So they have Pak 38 here, this is 50 mil. Pak 48, 88 mil, this is a higher priority. They also have in the rear another Pak, oh, that's Pak 97 38, so that's 75 mil gun. Pak 38 here, so 50 mil and 97 38. So what we'd need to do is probably aim for this first and then take out this and this position. Fingers crossed. What was this? This was Pak 38, so a 50 mil gun. There is a lot to take in. So I might miss a few things, but hopefully not too many. Right, so let us go up. I am not too worried about being too disordered. For now, at least. So they have not moved yet. So let us move them out. And they're disrupted, right, okay. No, they're not disrupted, but this tile is a cratered tile, which reduces our movement, so we cannot proceed any further, so let's go to ground in that case. There we go. Okay, perfect. Over here, yes, we will be going to ground as well, because we want to make sure that we are not too exposed on the enemy's turn. Over here, let's have a look. So these are engineers as well. You know what? Maybe, just maybe, we shall be using this right now. So let's see if we can take out this gun. So, of course, with off-map artillery, this is what happens. There is always a deviation, because they're quite far, and this is ship artillery we were talking about. But, as you have seen, it has quite a wide area of effect, even though it is not as effective as if it would have had a direct hit on the target. We're gonna try again. That was close. Doesn't look like this has done anything. Well, we disrupted these men, so the MG-34, but they are totally fine. Job says, need to go, we'll watch the recording. Good luck. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you being here. Have a good one, eh? So yes, we are kind of starting to disorganize them, but I think us are the ones who would be disorganized the most here, because we need to make it off the beach. And it's gonna be extremely hard to do so. What's the cost to using the artillery? Well, there is no cost to using the artillery, but let's... So, it is limited, yeah. So, the requirement is, first of all, that you have to have a radio man and a lieutenant. If you do not have any radios or officers attached to the radio stack, you cannot call the artillery. But once you do, you will see here that we have 2 missions of 8-inch guns, 3 missions of 5-inch guns, and 2 missions of 5-inch guns left. And of course, there is a delay for when you call. So yes, they are very, very limited. They can be devastating, but they can also be useless. All depends on the roll of the dice, but as long as you keep putting other pressure on, it is definitely well worth the time to paying attention and using them on the positions you want to soften up. They will not eliminate the entire position, but they would definitely soften them up, disorder them, pin them, and even disorganize them completely. Right, let's move forward. So I am quite happy here, because it doesn't look like there are any mines, which hopefully we will not be encountering, but you never know. Okay, we lost the man. And we are disrupted, so we cannot use. Interesting scenario. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And quite brutal, I would say, but we shall see. So you might actually notice, Pakwar, since you are not familiar with the game, I'm pressing this, and then there is like a 4 bars underneath. So what that does is, if there is no kind of bars underneath, that means that our men are running. They are fully standing up, moving forward. Pressing this allows us to go to ground, basically hit the deck, so to say. We expend much more movement points to move, but we are much harder to hit. So that's why at the end of the movement phase, you always want to hit the deck. It is free to go down, however, if I'm not mistaken, it costs 3 movement points to get back up again. So basically, you are slowing yourself down for the expense of being a bit safer. That's all right. So let's have a look with our guns. So range 50 for a 75 mil HE. A range 30 for our 30 cal and range 45 for a 50 cal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are within half range of all of our guns, which is fantastic. And I reckon we should try and suppress that. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Casey says, Mighty turned down the game sound a tad. Your euphoric voice is hindered by the cacophony of combat. Right. So it's weird. Every time there is something, the sound is kind of varies with the squad battles, and I'm not quite sure why. So I have turned it down now, and I'm hoping that should be enough, but if it's still too loud, do let me know. By the way, I have switched off the victory or loss song at the end of this of the game, because that was just way too loud. So Pakwar says, oh, okay, yeah, seems like that's the way to go here. Just too costly to keep running. Yeah, absolutely. So we can kind of do dashes and then go down, dash and go down. Or we can crawl to begin with. So we'll see We'll see how we proceed from now on, but the first turn we just want to move up as many men forward as possible. Job says, need to select ammo for the tank gun against infantry or guns. Indeed, and I actually forgotten to do that. We were using HE instead of AT. Yeah, as you can see, HE here. So, to select the ammo, we'll just go to weapon loadout and select armor piercing M3 vehicle only. And what that does is it would allow us to hopefully do nothing. Right, it would allow us to maybe move up. Like so. And we're gonna... Actually, you know what? I am hoping... Yeah, that's fine. And 0 move... No, it is 0. Oh, my eyesight is so bad. It is 9 actually, but we cannot turn any more. Movement exceeded. Righty. Oh, well. Well. Over here, I think this is blocking line of sight, so we'll select the loadout for this as well, so that we do not forget. And we just hit an AT mine. Oh dear, right, okay. Well, that is not good. So we haven't even finished our first turn, and already one of our tanks, at least, is disabled. Right, okay, so we do need a Bangalore, so let us move back and let us pick it up, because that is very, very important. I think our lieutenant has enough points to pick it up. Yep, perfect. And then next turn we can try and clear some fortifications there. Over here, I suppose we can start shooting, softening the man up. So they are now, as you can see, they're now disrupted. So that's what the yellow kind of line means. So what we're aiming to do here is not really cause any casualties. And we are pinned, so the 2 points there means that we're pinned, and the color orange designates that. So what we're aiming to do is to pin them, because it would be very hard for us to do anything against somebody in a trench, but if we can pin them, that is half the battle, because then we can move up our men and assault. So over here, we're gonna be ever so slowly moving up. Right. Sometimes I think that, let's see, maybe just choosing a safer option might be the best course of action here. Right. Let's try and use our Bangalore. There we go. So we have cleared the way, and now we have free access to this position. Of course, free access doesn't mean we can just move up without any issues, but it does mean that we have one place to assault from. So over here, I think, do we have a lieutenant here? Bazooka team? Flamethrower team? We do not, so we need a lieutenant over here. And he's gonna hit the deck right now. And so the reason why we need the lieutenant here is to try and rally the men. So this bazooka team is pinned. They belong to the 1st Platoon Foxtrot Company. or Fox, I think. And the lieutenant is 2nd Platoon Company Engineers. So not the same command at all. So while he would be able to attempt and rally the troops, he won't be as effective.
Come on!
And as we can see, nothing has happened. Ah well. Ah well. Right, over here, they can shoot. We gonna try and... let's see... we're gonna try and move up, actually. Because what we want to be doing... okay, they are on the ground already, so they're pinned. Which is fine, because we have a sergeant coming up right behind them. Or not. I might be... I might be doing this a little bit too... too carelessly. Right, we want to move our... oh, snap. Okay. Now that's some artillery going. I assume they have... oh, there we go. 81mm mortar. That's why. And we are out of movement. So... do we have line of sight? Ah, man. We don't. Anybody? Anybody? I guess not. Correct, yes, Askeri, you understand correctly. So Askeri is asking, do I understand correctly? First tank didn't hit the mine, but the second in the sand hex? In the same hex? Yes. So the first one moved into the hex without any issues. The second one moved in and got immobilized by an explosion. So one can only assume it is a mine because we didn't see anybody shooting at them. So it must be an anti-tank mine. We have gone with the engineers through it, and they have not detected anything, unfortunately. So yeah, it is a part of the problem, or problems, that the men faced on the, well, all of the really landings. Okay, and we can go down here. Over here. Right, so we have a Lieutenant Jones with his walkie-talkie. Before we start moving another tank, what we shall do is we're gonna use these HE rounds. Mines are tripped according to a probability. I figured that might be the case. Is there a way for our engineers to detect mines, Zaphod? Because you would probably know that. So HE, can we change it to a... no, we cannot. So it is unless one only. Nope. Right, so let's try and... sight blocked. Oh dear, oh dear. Sight blocked as well. Nope, units don't have intrinsic roles. Engineers should carry mine detection clearing tools. Yeah, no problem, Askeri. And thank you, Zaphod. So, I mean, engineers do carry bungalows, but without knowing if there is a mine in the hex, it is hard for us to know where to use the equipment. And of course, I don't think any of them would be using or having a mine detection in World War II. So, yes. So, we're gonna just check the line of sight here. So, we'll move this way. Oh dear, oh dear. We are getting a lot of shots. Okay, we're still good. Oh, and we're out of moves. Right, okay. Not perfect, but that is kind of expected. Right. Over here, we probably... Oh, yeah. Zaphod says, yeah, Bangalore should work for clearing there. Use it by firing them. Yes, indeed. So we have actually used Bangalore to clear this area, this hex here already, opening up our assault. So we shall be... I'm not going to be using satchel charges to clear these, because we want to use satchel charges when we assault the positions. There you go. We've pinned one unit over here. So let's see if we can pin another one. Oh dear. And we just lost our bazooka team. But that is life, unfortunately. Right, we have 2 Bangalores here, so we are only going to be using one. Fortune buries the bold. Yeah, indeed, indeed. So we're gonna be using Bangalore here, like so. There we go. And that has cleared it up. And we have lost a man immediately. Not good, but not too bad either. And we're gonna immediately move our assaulting team in. Because what we want is we want somebody with the satchel charges, as there is a trench there. Oh, yes indeed, right. 3-man team here. Gonna move up. We have somebody over yonder, and I think this is actually... This is the 3rd squad, and this is 1st squad. 2nd squad, 2nd Foxtrot, 1st Foxtrot, right. I don't know whom they have here. The bazooka team, right. The bazooka team is kind of out of the command, but we don't have a command person here, so there is that, of course. Well, we shall be trying to use the opening here to move up. With our men. We'll use the Bangalore here to open up the position. And actually, since we do have a flamethrower, we're gonna move up with a flamethrower there. Oh dear, oh dear. I feel like the flamethrower is gonna die. Our 2nd lieutenant is gonna move up. And he's gonna try and rally our men here.
Forward!
There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. We can keep our mortar over here. It's not an issue. Well, it will be an issue if we are not able to penetrate forward. Right, so bazooka team, this is the engineers, aren't they? We'll use the shooting from the engineers. And 1 carbine, range 4, 1, 2, 3. He should be able to shoot. But he can't because the line of sight is low. Okay. I suppose we're gonna try and soften them up. No, we can't. We cannot, right. This is a thirsty job, guys, so let me just pour myself some tea. Yes, so Zafot says, remember the T shortcut, very useful to find targets, valid targets. Yes, indeed. So, so are you saying that the line of sight would also be taken into consideration for the T? It would be, wouldn't it? Wow, okay. That is actually pretty cool. Okay. I will endeavor to remember that. Thanks, man. Thanks again. But so let us go to ground with a mortar, and I think we should start using mortars right now. So let's see who is available. So there are, yes, line of sight included, no problem. Thanks, man. While we can try and concentrate on AT guns, I think what we do need to do here is soften up our assaulting vectors. If we can, that is. But we cannot, right. So it looks like engineers would not be able to just detect mines for us, because clearly there is no mine detection equipment. So I think while we will be moving engineers up, we shall start moving the tanks up as well. Because at the end of the day, we need to make headway, and this should be the best way to do so. So let's choose armor-piercing ammo. And of course we know that we can hit him, so let's shoot. Zafot, what are you saying no to? Think he missed the previous comment. Guns are soft targets. I thought guns are hard targets. AP is useless. I think I might have missed your Guns, right. Guns are classified as weapons, and so they are HE vulnerable. AP loads are vehicle only, right, okay. This is good to know, so my confusion stems from Valorant Victory, if you've seen that on my channel, where armor-piercing runs are basically death sentence for any stationary guns. So, yeah. While HE isn't actually very good at all in that game against the stationary guns. So, right, well, thank you so much. I shall be reselecting HE in that instance. Yeah, so Askari says, no, sorry, guns are soft target because the crew is actually at first the target. Yeah. Yeah, again, I do have to unlearn some bad habits from other games. I would have thought that they were a soft target, but sorry, but no, not your fault, Askari. Not your fault at all, man. But yeah, it's just sometimes you get mixed up with different games, and you do not use your common sense. So, in this instance, we are hoping for at least some kind of effect, and we are not having it. What's up with the 30 cal? Why can't it... Oh, because it's facing forward, right. Well, in that case, if it's facing forward, there we go. Okay, perfect. Oh dear, oh dear. By the way, how is the sound? Is it a little bit better now that I've reduced it? Because this could be pretty loud, so I'm just making sure that you are okay with it, guys. Sound is still a bit loud. Sounds are loud at 50% volume for me. Right, okay, let's reduce it further. So I've knocked it down a tad now again. Yeah, my voice is always the same. I have worked hard to make sure that it is configured correctly. But the sound, for some reason, some streams, the sound is better with squad battles, and other streams it becomes way too loud. So, yeah. Alright, okay. So, over here, we can still reach the... So, let's orient ourselves this way. Okay, that's not good. Right. Who is next? Right, so Zafat says, from the manual, vehicle only. The load is only effective against ground vehicles or units in caves, city hexes, industrial hexes, bunkers, and pillboxes. So you can use AP to attack pillboxes and bunkers. Alright, okay, well that is very, very good to know. So let's actually have a look. Are they? They are in a trench, so trenches are not good. But if they would have been in a bunker or a pillbox, I don't think you'd be able to fit this into a pillbox. But if they would have been in a bunker, like this gun here, AP would be a perfect place to actually deploy that. So, and this is in trench, actually just, so this is in a bunker. And this is in a trench, right, okay. So we have 3 guns in trenches and 2 guns in bunkers. Right. Thanks for that, by the way. That is very, very handy information. So Casey says, historically the best attack versus a bunker gun was an FT. FT? Oh, flamethrower. Right. Yes, it was. And but of course, bazookas were also used to crack the bunkers. And I believe in the Western Front, they preferred to use bazookas to crack the bunkers rather than flamethrowers. While in the Pacific Front, it was predominantly flamethrowers that were used for this. Yes, I have noticed they are amazing. Of course, you do need to get pretty close to be able to use them. What's the range on this? Range 30. We're probably at our extreme range here, so is it even worth using it? Probably not. But you know what? Actually, no. We'll move up, because what we want to do is we want to be in range to engage the front line. And if we can take the front range, then it kind of opens up to take these two objectives, which I feel is imperative for us to do. Right. Who is next? So you are next, and you can move over here. And then you can start softening people up. Bazookas, particularly the original 60mm, would create a concrete spallin which caused casualties, but guns were much harder to take out. I see. That's an interesting info there, Casey. That is quite interesting. Right. We do have mortar here, so let's get our mortars going. So first things first, we want to soften up the assault areas. Oh dear, we just got our lieutenant killed, who was supposed to unpin our man. Well, that's not good. Do they actually have lines to anything from here? They do not, right? Well, in that case... only the bar can do anything, right? That is pretty bad. Okay. Engineers move forward. Did they just find a mine? I think they did. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm actually creating quite a bit of a congestion here. Let's not contribute to it any further. Right, let's move. I'm a little bit worried that the man would not be able to keep up with the tanks. Yeah, he's kind of in command. Rip Lieutenant and unpin plan. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Oh man, right. Let's move up with the tank. He has a wider range of command. Right. Well, in that case, actually, now that we're talking about it... Fixed units. No need to keep up that close. Okay. In that case, he can go to ground, because we don't want him being killed. And we shall be moving up. Oh, please tell me we didn't just expose our rear to the Pak 43. Oh, man. Right, okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let us get here with the tank. And let's see what we can see. Let's try and take this out. I think this is a trench also. We seem to be having some issues taking out the anti-tank guns, while they have no issues whatsoever demolishing our Shermans. I am not surprised. We are like a fish in a barrel here. here is a question. What would happen if the tank moves over that? Nothing. And so we shall be moving up and actually assaulting the positions. Fantastic. That is really quite good. Shermans weren't exactly svelte and stealthy. No, they were not. They were totally not. And I just realized that we can do something like this. And we have just wiped out the whole squad there with our Sherman. So perfect. This is still... So, Casey or Zaphod, if you know, can you remove the fortifications with the tanks if you run over them enough? Or does it only have to be done with satchel charges and the... whatchamacallums? The bungalows? I would appreciate that information if you do know it. Right, over here. I know nothing about the game, but... right, I've read about that happening. Fortifications cannot be actually removed. Sorry, I meant the obstacles. Not the fortifications, the obstacles. So like these things, the razor wire and stuff. Or do you consider them as a fortification as well? So, okay, so when you say you never read about that happening, you never read that Sherman would drive through a bunch of anti-personnel fortifications or obstacles and just kind of destroy them so that the dragon teeth, yeah, these are not actually dragon teeth. So the dragon teeth are here. If we look closer, these are the dragon teeth, while these are... Actually, these look also kind of like anti-tank obstacles, interestingly enough, while these look more like infantry obstacles, but from what I understand, there is no distinction in the description, so therefore I assume they are serving the same purpose. If only that lieutenant waited for those tanks to save him. Well, you know. Yeah, I think those are rebar obstacle, basically 3-welded eye-bars. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it depends on the obstacle. Berries are anti-vehicle. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Right, fair enough then. We shall be continuing our assault, and actually, since we know our tanks can deal with the front line, what we shall be doing is trying to take out anti-tank guns. Our priorities just shifted. Obstacles in general, like barbed wire, can be crossed by vehicles with no consequences. Indeed, yes, yes. I was just wondering if the vehicles can remove them as they cross over them, which would have been kinda cool to do, right? I should have gone to ground, well... And I will do so now. Whom are you with? You are all together, aren't you? You should have been moving together with your man. Oh god. You're so gonna die. Yep. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I keep doing things that should not be done. So let's stop that. Let's actually concentrate, right? No, I see. No, not until they're fitted with a prop obstacle removal attachments. Right, I gotcha. Why can we not move forward? We still have movement allowance exceeded. Oh, that's because of this guy. Right, okay. In that case, you're gonna move together once you are doing your thing. Over here, that's fine. We are gonna move up. You are gonna go to ground as well. Let's approach this more cautiously than before, shall we? Yeah, we'll try. I know it's kind of towards the further range for the HMG. What do we have? Range 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's actually within our half range, so it should be just as effective as normally. But, of course, it is not doing much. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Right, well, who do we have left? So we have Lieutenant here. No, he is gonna stay put. How come he has no weapons? Lieutenant, what are you playing at? Right, he's gonna have to pick somebody's weapon up. We have a vehicle here, so let's utilize it. Whew. Okay, and then next turn we can move through here. Anybody else? No, you have moved already, or I consider you moved. You're fine. Right. Well, we have finally completed our first turn, guys. That has been quite a huge turn. Right, let's go to the second turn. So, tanks in trouble. Let's save this. Are they throwing smoke my way? I mean, it's very nice of them to do that. Of course, they also have off-map artillery that's already starting to cause some casualties. And maybe on-map artillery as well, from what I can hear. Can we... We can zoom out. This was interesting. So we have pinned them, but the lieutenant has immediately rallied his men. First turn doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it's... I can already see, so for the first turn we have lost a lot of men and we should have approached this more cautiously. No, it's field of view, so there is a fog of war in effect, Packware. Maybe once 3D view for the viewers, absolutely as scary. I shall be doing 3D view. I prefer 2D view, but for you, my friend, anything. There we go. Probably zoom out a little bit. Casey says, I'm really impressed by the feel of this scenario. Hard to bring the scope of Normandy to a squad level game and keep it playable. Absolutely. I think cinematic. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy it. But yeah, Casey, I think you're quite right. I think this scenario is probably at the limit of what I personally would find fun to play in the kind of this level of, well, company level engagement, I suppose. So, but anything bigger might become a little bit too unmanageable, at least for me. I suppose the big thing for me for this scenario is that it is 25 turns long. So maybe that also kind of weighing on my mind. However, if it was maybe 10 turns, I would be happier with a bigger force as well. Or maybe not 10 turns, but you know what I mean, like 15-ish turns. Something a little bit smaller in terms of time frame. But yes, this is very, very playable still, I gotta say. I'm quite happy that for now, at least, they haven't managed to take out any of our tanks in their turn. Also, here's a question for you guys. So, would you prefer me to speed things up a little bit? Because we can increase speed of the enemy turns. So do give a shout out in the comments if you would prefer that. Because if we do increase the speed, the sound, it disappears, so we do not get the sound in that instance. I'm saying this just to kind of, if you'd prefer to pick up the pace a little bit. Yes, it would be better for a scenario with the 25 turns. Well, Askeri, I have resigned myself that I will not be able to finish the scenario tonight, so this might be 2 or 3 night scenario. Up a speed a notch, yeah, absolutely. I think we need to wait. No, we do not. So small is fast as 0 is fast as 512 is the default, so AI turn 384. Let's see. Oh, this is so much better, and we still get the sound with this, so that's perfect. I think we might have just lost... Oh no, just one man for the bazooka, or I think it might have been actually an officer there. I might actually speed up the my turn resolution as well, because this seems to be perfect pace for me. And we still get the sound. How's the sound with the explosions, by the way? Is it still a bit too loud? Would you like me to reduce it, or is it fine? And I mean the sound of the game rather than me talking. I still get sound, yeah. Still a touch loud. Okay. Let's turn it down by another notch. Oh, I see. Right, okay. This should be much better now. Yeah, so it did say that the faster speed should have no sound, but we just increased the speed, as you can see, and we still have sound. I assume that if we knock it down to a faster yet again, we will lose the sound though. So let's try that actually. So it's 256 now. Let's see if we retain the sound. We still retain the sound. And I can see it's still a little bit too loud. They have updated it, yeah. So I think this might be one of the changes. in the 12th or let's try this again. In this patch, right? In this release. Support is available, finally. We are on our turn. So actually, let us get to 256 on each. It does say at speeds faster than default, no sound. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we were having perfectly clear sound there. If you do accept my apologies, guys, I do prefer to play in a 2D map because it is much more legible for me. So we shall continue to do so here. So let's do this first. Okay. Over here. Perfect. Okay, so we are overrunning their positions, which is good. We still have a little bit of firepower left here. So let's see if we can shoot them. Oh, fantastic. We finally started reducing that position, right? That is really good news. Now, if I remember correctly, I have changed their weapon load to AP due to misunderstanding the communication. So let's change this back. We will not keep two tanks in the same place. We shall be trying to overrun this position and then try and come onto the pack gun from the rear. But this little dude can do nothing because he has no eyes. Why, man? Why? Over here. There is a guy in the way, that's right. Yes, yeah. No, I understand why. This was a rhetorical question. We got the indicator that this is the unit block in line of sight, which is perfectly fine. Right, okay, so... he can shoot at nobody. Where is our officer? No. No. I think our officer is deadered. So these men would remain pinned for the foreseeable future at least. But they can contribute towards taking out that gun. And I know if I don't shoot with them, and if they don't get shot, they might be able to, you know, regain their composure. But the chances of them not being shot are extremely slim. Non-existent, you might say. Okay. We shall be moving up. Over here. Move it. Let's attempt to rally the troops. Not only did we not rally the troops, the lieutenant got killed, and our flamethrower got pinned. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Well, let's throw a satchel charge onto them. And assault in the next turn. They are relegated to support now. This was supposed to be our support because of the M1 grenades, but seeing how we are kind of losing men left, right, and center, or to pinging rather than to being killed as well, I reckon that we need to mix up the roles. So right now our priority is the AT guns, because we can harry the normal troops with our tanks, but AT guns do need to be taken out. Oh dear, right. No. So one squad pinned. Okay. So here is what's gonna happen here. We are gonna separate into two. You men, I'm gonna move this way and start putting down fire here. You men are gonna stay put while the lieutenant goes back. Attempts to rally pinned men. You move forward, and lieutenant is gonna rally, or second lieutenant at this instance, but yeah, out of movement points, right? This is tricky. This is getting actually very tricky. We are being bogged down very fast. Which do we? Yeah, we still have obstacles there. So anybody with a Bangalore, we have men with a Bangalore here. So let's use that. Actually, let's use the tank first. So let's. They have moved already. Do the Shermans have smoke rounds to drop in front of the AT guns? The M3 75mm did have smoke rounds. No, they do not. They only have HE or the AP rounds in this instance. We do have our mortars, actually, which I have just remembered. If we have any left. Our mortars do have smoke ammo. White phosphorus, to be precise, and this is a perfect time to use them. So let's do so. So first things first, let's pop one there. Smoke them if you got them. Let's pop one there. And let's pop one there. Nobody really likes this mortar anymore. Ah, well. Interesting. They are disrupted. They're not. Right. Okay. That is fine. So we have supports available. Let us use them. We are, of course, gonna be working on the AT guns. Of course. Not that that does much. Let's try and work on this, because there are a lot of men here that we can see, so maybe we can disrupt none of them. Ah, well. They are all cold again. Right, that's fine. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting for them. So, he can start moving up if he can. No, he can't. They have moved. They have not moved, so they can shoot. They have already shot. That is fine. They can shoot that way, so let us do so. Over here, there is no Bangalore, but we can provide suppressive fire and get almost all the men wiped out in the process. Over here, yes, so let us do this. Okay, they are pinned, so can they actually shoot at anybody? No. They cannot. Okay. They are disrupted, so can they move in? No. No. That's fine. Over here. Let's keep working on the guns. That is important. Now, Lieutenant, where are you from? 1st Platoon, Fox Company. 2nd Squad, 2nd Fox, 2nd Fox. 1 Charlie. I suppose you better go here then. Attempt to rally them up and fail. Okay. We are gonna be moving on ever so swiftly. Right, X-Men there, 2 men here, so... we shall... let's shoot. Let us shoot. Over here, we are pinned, so let's rally up. If we can.
Let's go.
Let's go. Perfect. And we can't move. Well, at least we're disrupted, so that is as it may be. But we can move next turn, which is perfect. That's what we want. As long as we don't get pinned again. Trench, obstacles, so they can move into the trench. Over here, the disrupted man, like so, can move forward, while the pinned will remain. We won't be using Bangalore, so we'll just move up. So, I am saving the Bangalores for the next line of defense. We already created lanes of attack here, so that is fine. So now we just need to, well, hopefully advance. So 3 men, 2 men, 3 men, bloody hell. Yes, that is definitely not ideal. Well, you can shoot, so shoot. Over here, we'll bazooka in. Even though we don't have anybody to get him unpinned. Ouch. We forgot about our boat, so let's actually... These are HE rounds. Maybe start softening them up a little bit, reducing them in preparation for our further gains, if any. Right, okay. Over here. They have moved. They have not, so let's move. Can they still pick this up? Yes, they can. Perfect. Okay. They have 2 bungalows now, so that's excellent. Ever so slowly.
Forward.
Rally up. Perfect. Can we all move? No, we can't. So, tell you what. We can shoot, so let's shoot. Okay. Wasn't ideal. So we need to be moving up, and we shall. They have moved. You can still fire, so go ahead and fire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he can still overlook this area. What if we pop smoke there? Do we still have a mortar available? Yes, we do. Packer says, gotta go, but we'll check the VOD on how it went. Thanks for the video. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Have a good evening, day, morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. See you later, man. Right, so let us select a weapon load, indirect fire smoke, and we want to smoke it out here, I believe. So this is elevation 30, this is elevation 0. Oh man. We might not actually be able to smoke it out, but let's see. Okay, this is working, so let's smoke here. Oh, beautiful. Right. Well, now we can move up our tanks, can't we? Wonderful. Yes, this is perfect. So now they don't have actually eyes on our tanks here. Oh my god, this is really, really good. So let us move up. Reducing them immediately. We also probably want to move up this way. And this way. And of course, this way and that away. Right. Over here. So instead of going and flanking as we have planned originally, what we will do is we're gonna try and move up and take this objective. And the reason for that is we are now out of sight of these two guns. So we want to occupy the objective if we can, and then strike through, hopefully getting in the rear of the guns. And being a little bit better protected. At least that's the idea. I'm not sure if this is gonna actually work. Right, over here, what do we have? Nope. Nope. Next. Definitely not. Who else? Who else? Can't fire at anybody. Right, okay, well, I've been saving this for the last. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 men versus 7 men. But we do have a flamethrower. I think we will not be assaulting this time around. We will use the flamethrower to reduce them and disorder them. And our flamethrower ran out. Great. Well. And the flamethrower team does not have a weapon now. But they can pick up the ground. It's not in the best of conditions, but it is better than nothing. I have just misclicked, but oh well. Right, over here. Yep, we'll move up. Next. Move up. Right now I'm just trying to select appropriate targets. Or not even appropriate targets, any available targets really. Alrighty-o. Okay. Who else is left? You are left here. So. Mortar, yeah. Might have been better to actually just move up, but yeah. It is what it is. And we are on turn 2. Zafot says, doesn't look half bad, nice smoke cover right in front of the AT guns. Yes, so I believe the smoke cover will dissipate though, very soon, if not next turn. But then again, I might be confusing this again with Valor and Victory, so... I think I am actually, so I do not know how long the smoke lasts in squad battles. They will dissipate automatically, yeah. That's what I thought. Because squad battles, isn't it 5-minute turns? So if it's 5 minutes, the smoke dissipates in maybe 2-3 turns? Would make sense. Well, effective smoke would probably dissipate after 5 minutes, so after 1 turn. Speed plus sound is a godsend. Yeah, I do quite like this. The speed is actually kind of perfect for me here. It keeps things going, but you can still kind of see what is actually happening. You're not too confused about... It's just gone. Does Valorant Victory have a log of the actions in a turn? No, man, it doesn't. If I was to compare Valorant Victory to this, the squad battles engine is much more polished. It's much more feature-rich. It is much more complicated, so if you're looking for something simpler with quite nice, simple mechanics that are fairly beautiful in their simplicity, Valorant Victory is the way to go, but it is missing a lot of quality of life features. So, first of all, if you're playing multiplayer, you cannot really see what the opponent has done. You can press R and you can see their kind of arrows pointing where they have moved, and the squads that have received fire, but there is no log to tell you what units you might have lost, what were the results, etc. in the opponent's turn. So, yeah. This is a little bit better. From what I understand, the squad battles doesn't have a log either, does it not? Or is there a log that I am just not seeing? Doesn't look like there is a log here. And smoke dissipates after one turn, which makes sense. No, it doesn't. You can see your opponent's replay, though. Exactly, yes. So that is... Because either a replay or a log, both is, of course, even better. But yeah, either a replay or a log is needed, and Valorant Victory has none. So, which is sad. I have spoken to the dev, and I am hoping that he would implement it soon. But, yeah. So Casey says, I have tried Valorant Victory and I am not a fan. Just too much RNG for me. I do like Second Front, but that's probably because I played Tabletop Squad Leader back in the day. Well, so Valorant Victory is very much Squad Leader-like. It's based on the board game Valorant Victory that was supposed to kind of imitate Squad Leader, but not Advanced Squad Leader, so with a simpler rules. And while, yes, there is an RNG, but there is also a lot of RNG here as well. What I do like about Valorant Victory, which I actually really like about it, is that you get the roll table in front of you, and you can enable dice. So it's kind of like you see exactly the calculation that happens. And maybe that's why a lot of people think, oh, there is more RNG. But if you think about it, the amount of times we have shot here and not been able to either disrupt, pin, or completely demoralize a unit, or cause any casualties is ridiculous compared to the amount of casualties we have received. But if you actually think about it, it all makes sense, because we are on the open, they're not, etc. And I find that Valorant Victory is very similar in that regard. If you know what you're doing, you can bring this RNG to your side and basically work the system in your favor. But yeah, so that's kind of my take on it. So there is skill involved as well as, of course, having RNG involved. If that makes sense. Casey says, yes, visually it looks nice, and I'm not against RNG by any means, but in the few Valorant victory scenarios I played, winning was more about good dice rolls early to beat the tight timer. So, if you have only the main game, and you have played the first couple of scenarios, I agree with you completely. Valorant victory, actually very similar to the squad battles, is worst, both games are worst, when you have extremely small force. Because the RNG there is just, it's punishable. So even one loss can have huge consequences, which I extremely dislike. It becomes not about your skill, it becomes about, oh, well, I just have bad dice rolls and I lost the scenario because of the bad dice rolls. So where Valorant victory starts to shine, and again squad battles as well, is where you start having about a company-sized scenarios and mixed arms. So basically you have tanks and you have mortars and you have off-map support and you have infantry, etc. When you have that, both games just shine amazingly. But each one has its own issues, of course. Yes, I only have played first 5 of Soul scenarios in the base game. Some were almost impossible, such as running into the emplaced gun. Yes. Yes, indeed. You have to... If you... Counterintuitively, if you start with latter scenarios that gives you a lot of toys to play with, that might look, oh my god, there are so many units, it's a bit overwhelming. They are not as punishable in RNG department as the much smaller scenarios. So I think the first 3 scenarios are absolutely atrocious in the Valorant victory, at least American sector. The 4th scenario, if I'm not mistaken, is very good. The taking the point to Hawk, I think is a fairly small scenario, but it is fairly good because you have enough men to teach you how to assault an objective, and you can do it quite successfully. This is actually the first scenario I've won when I was trying the game for the first time, so I would recommend that one if you see a taking point to Hawk from the American theater. I think it's the scenario side of things. Anywho, we are not playing Valorant victory, of course, so let's see what we can do here. We shall actually be moving up, because our objective is to take the objectives. But I do agree with you, Casey, that, of course, the games are similar in scope. And to a certain extent, rules as well. So we cannot help but draw the comparisons between the two. Alright, okay, you can move up. Actually, maybe you should stay put, because every time you move, you draw opportunity fire. Zafat says, I do like the idea of seeing the odds laid out. I'd like to see some numbers in squad battle as well. Absolutely, And that's why I dearly wish that they would implement some kind of log. Because then, you know, you don't need to look at it, even, you know, have the table kind of in front of you. But if you want to see, like, what actually happened, you can just open up a log and say, oh, right, okay, I see. So this is what I rolled and this is what I needed to roll, which would be pretty good. So... The one... oh, actually, there you go. I'm in the Slytherin tournament for the Pacific... is it Pacific? Yeah, Pacific DLC. And I've just received the move or turn from my opponent. So there you go. But one thing that I would dearly... timely, yeah, indeed. One thing I would dearly love to see in Valorant Victory is a little bit more consistency. Because you can see the odds for shooting, tank shooting, etc. But you cannot see the odds for mortars, for example. Which is a little bit annoying to me. It's kind of like, well, why not? Why am I not able to see the odds for the mortars while I can see the odds for literally everything else? Right, okay, they're pinned. Do we actually have an officer? We don't have an officer anywhere, do we? Oh, man. Right, let's move up more men. Actually, let's use one Bangalore. There we go. And we can move up here. And we can assault next turn. Oh, did I just use another one? Oh, man. I have made a big mistake. Right, well, it is what it is. Wasn't there a setting, Zaphod, you told me yesterday there was a setting for select single use. If this is selected, then I should select, or this should be deselected. To not use the one-use items. I can't remember which one. Uncheck it, right, okay. Right, uncheck it. Okay, perfect. Alright, okay. X-Men, so let's shoot at X-Men. Because at least we know that there are only 2 people here. A single use isn't short for single use weapon. Yeah, it's just, it confuses me that select single use, so it's kind of like you have to select it to be a single use, but it's actually the other way around, right? So, yeah, it is a little bit confusing to me. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think it might have gotten deselected simply because I have... Unless the options reset every time. Oh, hey, Bill. How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good day. I wanted to say evening, but of course it is not evening where you are. Not yet, anyway. We are trying to take Omaha Beach, and we are not succeeding very well. Let's see. We want to use our indirect fire to lay down a few rounds, selecting our man first. What's going on? How? Glad that you're doing well, Bill. I have used up my smoke allowance. Oh, man. So... Is there a way to see? Is it victory? No, command report. There we go. Alright, okay, so the command report would give me the details if I have used up the smoke and how many smokes are remaining. Well, I suppose it isn't too bad because we have moved up our tanks Not fully off the beach, but almost there. In that case, let us change HE? Yeah, HE, right, that's what we want. So they have regained their composure, so why don't they start moving forward in that case? While here, we're gonna start trying to suppress that position. Because we will be crossing it with our tanks in a moment. Right, who is next? You are. You are, or at least you are, right. Have 7 men there. I think we can have 14 men. Let's move. Would be nice if we could assault, but we can't. Zaphad's guess is that the smoke allowance is an artificial limit to smoke on smoke armor to prevent players spamming smoke. Not sure though. Yes, it would be. In a way, it also represents kind of the limits that the troops had with different ammunition. I know that we do not get the limits with normal weapons. I mean, apart from their effectiveness, but again, that could be argued that doesn't really represent the ammunition all that well. But ammo is obstructed, absolutely, yeah. But I think if it was tracked, this might have been a little bit too much. Besides, I don't think logistics are the most important thing in the, let's say, company level engagements, right? Company level and less, and platoon level, etc. Because it's all about leadership and small arms tactics rather than logistics. You work with what you have. Right. Can they move? Right, they are pinned. I'm talking too much and not playing enough, so let's play.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Move it.
Oh, man. Right, over here, we are kind of congregating that way, but I think we have created quite a wide lane here. So we'll be moving up that way. Over here, we can move in. This is a trench as well, that's perfect. Here, we can't shoot anywhere. Ah, it's a mortar, right. So for the mortars, we shall be choosing Is this a lieutenant? Right. Lieutenant, you, well, next turn, you will be moving up and trying to rally those men, because... yes. Okay, so 2 things to do. First, you're gonna pick up these items. Now you have a gun. Well done. Finally acquired a weapon. Second lieutenant powers. And now we're gonna try and rally.
Move it.
There we go. This is perfection. Excellent. Right. Ouch. They're disrupted, but they can be moving up, so I reckon they should be moving up. Because we're moving towards the objectives, of course. Over here. Suppress them, if we can, that is. Did it say we have supports available? It did, right, well. Well. Oh, direct hits. Pinned them. Okay. That is very, very good. So since they are pinned, let's see if we can pin this gun as well. They are simply on the ground. Okay, not a problem. So the reason why we are doing this, because we are about to start moving our tanks forward. Let's see. Very tempting thing to do is to secure the objective ASAP. However, there is a reason we don't want to be doing that. So instead, oh, we got a tank immobilized. Well, that's not good. Well, let's work on them in that case. Over here, so what we want to be doing is we want to look here. We probably want to strike this point and then move into their rear and try and take them out that way. So let's do so. Uh-oh, did we just crash? I think we just crashed, guys. So what happened there? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Tanks in trouble. We are, of course, still in the... Was it here or here that we were... Well, Azafod, so, right, I think you mightn't have been here when I have commented that the... WDS, Wargame Design Studios, contacted me while I was streaming yesterday, and they were asking me if the stream has been completed. I'm wrapping it up because they've seen that I'm almost at the end of the scenario. And they were looking to provide me a fixed executable that fixed that issue. They sent it to me already yesterday, and I have tested it out on yesterday's scenario. And actually, let's just go to the fastest, yeah, because we don't really care about this. We already played this out. I know that the results might be a little bit different, but... Right. So yeah, Wargame Design Studios sent me an executable that fixed that issue. And this morning they sent me another one saying, actually use this one instead, because that fixed another issue, which I am using now. So they are testing it before doing the public release, because they want to make sure that they kind of nipped all the issues in the bud. And I'm hoping that this was just a one-off. So let us see. And this is 225. Okay. Just for my reference, if they need to kind of see when the crash occurred. Well, let's see if we can replicate this. No. Yeah, this is not replicable. Replicatable. Not replicable. Which is fine with me. Maybe it's just a weird thing that just happened. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, the gun... Did I use support before the crash? Are you talking about the Wargame Design Studio support? Yes, so the copy of the game that I'm using is a review copy. So they have provided it for me, and oh, artillery. No, actually, in the last turn before the crash, I did. But would that actually matter? I mean, we can try and overrun a position. I think this position should be reachable by one of the tanks. But it's in a house. We'll see if we can reach this position and overrun it. With this tank, probably not. Might have been a fluke. Yes, it looked a little bit weird. It's like there was a lot of thinking that the program was doing. Might have been Windows related as well. That can happen. They're pinned, they are disrupted, so that is quite good. Let us see... Can you overrun a trench? You most certainly can. Okay, right, actually, we can overrun this trench, so let's do so. So one, if we don't get absolutely demolished. There we go. Well, we weren't able to overrun it, but... we were... We were able to not crash. Wow, that was bad. Right, okay. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame because the turns here take quite long. So once you get a crash, it's hard to retrace all your steps. It's actually I should have moved up with them, but it is what it is, right? Okay, they are actually... You're pinned, so you stay pinned, you move up. I can cheat and go back in the stream to take a look. Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, if you wanna kind of do that, I'm sure that the Wargame Design Studios would appreciate if we can kind of tell them exactly what we were doing. And I might have a look myself as well. We can't... let's... There we go. I don't feel obliged, by the way, to do that, unless you're already doing it and can't hear me. So... Right. I keep seeing fire coming from here, but maybe it's from here instead. This was a little bit weird. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, these men need to start moving. So let's move. Let them move. You'll just stay put there. You have moved. You can move like so. You can also start working on this gun. Because if we can get that out of the way, that'd be good. They are pinned, but what I would like to see is even less crew remain. So, yeah. So, Zafot, if you're still watching and not trying to go through the stream and figure out what has caused an issue.
Let's go. Come on.
If I assault an AT gun with a tank in the rear, is there a benefit to that, or would the tank just get demolished because it thinks that the AT gun can just swivel on the spot without any issues? If you could let me know that, that would be fantastic. I am using your expertise here too much. I do apologize. Right. What is going on here? Okay, they have to... Okay. Over here. Right now, I'm literally just trying to get to the point where I was before without spending too much time on this. Oh, you think you can replicate the crash? So what exactly have happened? If you could let me know, because this is not the same executable as everybody else would be using. I'm using a beta executable that I was given this morning.
Come on.
So I definitely need to give the feedback to the devs what is causing this. We're moving up. Moving up. Over here. 3-man versus X-man. Okay. Are they still in permanent move 8 sort of situation? I feel like they are. Right, over here we'll move them in a bit. So what was causing the crash, Zaphod, if you could enlighten us? Interesting. I reckon I might be able to replicate the crash as well. The thing I am not sure about the T highlight. So do you mean the tank? So if we do this, crash did not happen. Oh, with a T highlight enabled. Ah, not the tank. Right. Okay. Actually, I do apologize, guys. I just want to test this because I think this is more important than proceeding with the game. Because if we can get this fixed for everybody involved, or this just happened too. Right, okay. So, let's do the T highlight. Let's select the tank. See, the T highlight is selected, but nothing has happened. So... Yeah, it's... Right, so we have a couple of tanks here, so let's see. We're trying to crash the game right now. Yep. So you reckon, and I reckon, you are right. Oops. That the T highlight is the culprit here. So let's try this one more time. But it's not 100% replicable though. So if we do this... Scenario number 121, blow up the game. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But to be fair, this mightn't be fun for somebody to watch. However, I think our mission would be accomplished if we get all the bugs ironed out and help the devs to do that. Because more people then can enjoy the game without any issues. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Okay, says absolutely the CTDs are the only thing that has kept me from buying it after yesterday's stream. Yes, in saying that devs have been nothing but amazing, but here we go. It's again. So we had a number of tanks in trouble before the crash. Assaults that went without a hitch even with the T selected. But the moment we get them in this hex, which is just a normal road hex, and they are what you call it, on a third stage of disorganization, we are seeing a crash. So let's try this again. And now, so what's... Looks like they're just demoralized. And it crashes every single time. Right. Okay. What if we try it with another tank? So let's switch this on. This tank first. Get him out. Absolutely, yeah. And then we're gonna use this tank. So it's still that the other tank selected. I shall do so in a second. So you've noticed that the second tank did not cause an issue, while the first tank crashed the game again, even though we were assaulting a different position. I'm gonna try the same moves without highlighting now. So first this tank. Well, it has another assault, so let's try and assault a second position. Okay, let's use this tank. Let's do something like this. And a second assault. So it looks like the highlighting is involved somehow, but I'm just gonna be assaulting with the tanks to see if any of them crash the game, but doesn't look that way. Huh. Okay. I will contact support, but I'm not quite sure if it is indeed this that is causing it. So, actually, now that we have this on, we have one more tank within range, so let's attempt that. And hopefully the second assault is what crushes it. No, it doesn't. Oh, this is an escarpment. We can only go through there and there. Oh dear. Yeah, absolutely. So what I will do is I will do another save as, and I will do tanks in trouble. So the tanks in trouble before crash is the before crash. Yes. Okay. Oh wow, we just found another weapon. There you go. Yeah. I'll definitely be sending a save game to them, but it's not 100% reproducible, at least. It's hard to say what's causing it. I'm sure that they would have debugging tools that would be able to tell them exactly what's going on. I do apologize for doing these bits of testing, guys. I know that when you came here, you were probably looking for an interesting game instead of a bit of a testing run. But the executable I'm using is supposed to be the executable that that fixes the game the game crash to desktop CTDs. So if we can stop them completely, that would be great for everyone involved. This is white phosphorus, so let's select a weapon load. Boom. Okay. Okay. Let's keep moving up. Lieutenant is there, so unpin one.
Forward. Let's go.
Not quite unpin the other, but that is fine. It's funny, we're doing pretty good actually, considering that we've literally just been doing things to test the game rather than things to win the game. But regardless of that, we are still doing pretty fine. What is here? What is here? There is a scrapment there. But there isn't... Oh, but there isn't a scrapment there as well, so... Oh, I see. So we cannot get through here. That would have been nice and sneaky. So these men are kind of just there, so we're not gonna go that way. Ah, well. Right. So, what else is there left to do? So they can start moving up. Let's move here. Let's move here, if we can. Oh, right, on the ground. Never mind. And of course, they have run weapon load. Right. I was getting worried that there's gonna be another crash there. Okay, that's fine. And over here, we'll just shoot a bit. That is fine. Right. Who has not shot and or moved? You. But you're both pinned, or at least one of you are. Is. Okay. You can still shoot. Do so. Okay, and I think we are all good here. Disrupted, yeah, that's fine. You can't shoot at anybody. You can't shoot at anybody either. Right, okay. So let's move on to the next turn. So what we'll be doing is once the enemy kind of... And are we going slow again? We are, aren't we? So let's increase the speed. There we go, much better. So yeah, guys, I just want to say, once the enemy finishes their turn, I think I'm gonna call it a night. We've been streaming for almost 3 hours now. Again, apologies for the doing a bit of testing here, live on the stream, but I think the CTDs need to be eradicated. So I shall be submitting the file, save file, and our findings that me and Zafod have determined here to the Wargame Design Studios, and hopefully by tomorrow's stream, these issues might be ironed out. I really hope so. I'm also hoping that we wouldn't need to start this mission anew, because that is a big chunky mission. Looking on the positive things, because I do have to kind of highlight both positives and negatives here. I think the mission is fantastic and manageable, more importantly, but also really highlights how it would have been to try and assault this barren beach laid with mines, barricades, and various obstacles. Makes sense. The battle is just starting anyway. Turn 4. Absolutely, absolutely. The battle is indeed just starting, so there is all to play for, and it's taken a little bit longer, but I shall be playing a bit faster from now on, including the speed dial. So, appreciate your efforts and help in reading out the bugs. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I think in ideal world we wouldn't have any bugs, but we are not in the in the ideal world. So, if everybody contributes, I mean, from my experience with Wargame design studios, they are going above and beyond. So, if we do our small contribution to help them, everybody benefits. So, yeah. For now, though, thanks a lot for watching. I shall be streaming tomorrow at 1900 hours GMT. So, with one caveat. If it is that the Wargame design studios find the fix for the CTD bugs, I will be streaming this continuation of this mission. If they do not, I shall be streaming the next mission in the Squad Battles Grenada, which is version 4.01 and is not affected by the crashed desktop. It's a demo, so Casey, if you're still watching there, it is demo, it's absolutely free. To call it a demo would be a disservice to this minigame, so do check it out. It covers the American invasion of Grenada in the 80s, and I am quite enjoying that. Whatever the case is, for now, thank you for watching, thank you for bearing with me, and I hope you had a reasonably pleasant evening tonight. Anyway, whatever the case is, thanks guys, and I will see you tomorrow at 1900 hours. Have fun, everyone. Bye.